My family brought me from San Pedro Sula, Honduras when I was 4 years old. I learned English in 5 months and graduated high school with a grade point average of 3.8. Due to the immigration laws in my state, I have not been able to go to college. I'm working and working, but it feels like it's toward nothing.
I came from Medellin, Colombia 12 years ago. Going back isn't a choice because I only have a 3rd grade reading level in Spanish.
Okay, tell us your story.
My story. I was born in Caracas, Venezuela, and I was brought here at the age of 12.
Came to America from the age of 9 years old, and I'm 28 now, so I've been here 18 years, undocumented.
I was born in Puerto Rico and I was raised in Venezuela. My parents migrated here after my grandparent migrated here.
I'm from Trinidad and Tobago. My parents brought me here at the age of 2.
And I was about 15, May 19th of 1999. No, wait, May 15th, 1999. You never forget the day you came here.
I was brought under the belief that I was gonna go to Disneyland. And somehow we landed in New York City, and 3 months after, I was left alone.
When I was 16, I wanted to start working because I wanted to help my parents with all the bill payments and everything. But I couldn't because they told me I had to get a school work permit. But I went to a school work permit and they told me to apply for that. I needed the social and everything.
They tell you, well, you need a social security for this. You need a social security for that. You can't drive. You can't do this. So practically all my life I heard, you can't do this, you can't do that.
And my mom at home would tell me, don't tell anybody, that you're here. You came here only with a tourist visa. And now, now you don't have it. It's gone. So don't tell anybody about that. Don't trust anyone.
And then I heard about, it was just recently where Obama passed the deferred action for childhood arrivals.
When this law opened up, I was happy because now I could get my social work permit. I could just go apply anywhere. So yeah, not down. That's what I'm working on now, getting a better job, better pay to help my parents even more.
I was like, this is it. This is my chance at 26 years old. I was like, wow, finally something passes that I could actually get some hope, And so I applied for DACA, and then just 2 days ago, I got the approval notice in the mail, and then I got the card after.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
So it's like, oh wow.
My dreams. I say dreams because I have more than one. One of them is to become a nurse. The other one is to do art through music. I feel that through music I can decode other cultures and the sense of understanding others and stuff like that.
My dream is to be a lawyer, so I will take the criminal justice as a major this year. So I believe I will make it.
My dream is to living a happy life with pride, having knowledge, know what's going on around me, find the girl I love, stay with family, and being successful in my career in America, which is being a nurse and a martial artist.
I want to become a doctor, and I want to be able to join the Air Force. Those are one of my two biggest goals in life, to be a doctor in the Air Force of the United States of America.
What do you want to say to undocumented immigrant youth in America?
I want to say to you guys that, you got to keep believing. I've been up here since 9 and I'm 28. It's 18 years. So if I can do it, you can do it. It's always a will, it's a way, without deferred action or with it.
Don't give up, so much things can be accomplished in such a short period of time.
Always think of your family and your friends. Get strength from them. And you will get better.
Just keep moving on. I know it's going to come obstacles to your life, but you have to keep going, because we have to let this country know that we are productive and we're capable to go to school and to represent this country how this country wants it to represent them.
Take a moment to introduce our esteemed guest this evening. He was born in the Philippines and immigrated to the United States as a child. He has since become a very successful journalist and has begun his campaign, Define American, that seeks to elevate the immigration conversation. We're pleased and honored to welcome Mr. Jose Antonio Vargas.
I spent more than a decade of my life as a journalist. I am also, as many of you know, one of the estimated 11 million undocumented immigrants in our country. Immigration is stories. So here's my story. I am in America because of the sacrifices of my family.
Y así como ellos también tienen un sueño, nosotros también tenemos, que es lograr una reforma migratoria, no solamente para ellos, sino para todos, para todas las familias, y que no se siga con las deportaciones y justamente la separación de familias.
Yo amo este país y le doy las gracias por todo lo que me ha dado. Vivir en el miedo no nos va a llevar a nada bueno. Es momento de decir basta.
Yo creo que todos los que estamos acá y mucha gente que no está en este momento estamos unidos por lo mismo. Atrás en nuestro país quedaron muchas cosas, afectos, familia, costumbres. Pero bueno, decidimos dejar todo aquello para darles a ellos un mejor futuro. Si yo tuviera la oportunidad en este momento de mirar a la cara a los congresistas, al presidente, yo le preguntaría, ¿qué ven los ojos de sus hijos? Eso mismo sienten los nuestros.
Muy bien.
Why is it that when we talk about immigration in this country, we always frame it as a problem and not as a solution? Immigration is not just a Latino issue, that this is not just about Mexicans in the border. Not everybody who's undocumented is Mexican. 1 million of the 11 million undocumented people in this country are actually from Asia. About 800,000 from South America. 300,000 actually from Europe. Undocumented French, Polish, Irish, German people. In 2010, undocumented people like me actually paid $11.2 billion in state and local taxes. It's about citizenship. It's what we are as a country and who we are as a country, what our future is going to be, not just economically, but culturally. So when we talk about this combustible, controversial, polarizing issue that is immigration, are we even on the same page? I don't think we are.
We are here to announce that 8 senators from opposite sides of the political aisle are coming together on a common-sense immigration reform proposal that we believe can pass the Senate. Now, we all know that our immigration system is broken, and it's time to get to work on fixing it. Immigration reform is vital to securing our borders, jump-starting our economy, and ensuring fuller access to that great American dream.
The legislation we're offering is comprehensive and workable solution to our broken immigration system that piecemeal responses have not and cannot repair. The status quo threatens our security, damages our economy, disregards the rule of law, and neglects our humanitarian responsibilities.
This isn't perfect, but it's a good faith, common sense approach to fixing a badly broken immigration system.
Today is just the beginning of our voyage. It'll be long and arduous. There will be perils we can't even anticipate. But we start off with optimism because this bipartisan agreement gives us a sturdy ship to ride out the stormy seas ahead.
This morning, Secretary Napolitano announced new actions my administration will take to mend our nation's immigration policy, to make it more fair, more efficient, and more just, specifically for certain young people, sometimes called dreamers. It makes no sense to expel talented young people who, for all intents and purposes, are Americans. They've been raised as Americans, understand themselves to be part of this country. Well, today, we're improving it again. Effective immediately, the Department of Homeland Security is taking steps to lift the shadow of deportation from these young people. Over the next few months, eligible individuals who do not present a risk to national security or public safety will be able to request temporary relief from deportation proceedings and apply for work authorization.
But you have to be under 30, and you're 31.
I'm 30. Today, I have to say, today is probably the day that I feel old.
Under the President's proposal, we would provide a rigorous pathway to earn citizenship for those already here.
The question becomes where we draw the line.
The border is more secure now than ever.
The border is nowhere near secure.
Large flows of labor will pull down wages. Our children and grandchildren, will they not be able to get a job?
Mothers or fathers are removed from households full of citizen children and result in splitting up families.
We've been talking about immigration reform for a long time, and I still believe we have a long, long way to go.
I'm going to ask the panel to please stand to be sworn in. Do you swear that the testimony you're about to give before the committee be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but truth, so help you God? Yes. Very good. Record show. All sworn in. Mr. Vargas, please go ahead.
I come to you as one of our country's 11 million undocumented immigrants. Many of us Americans at heart, but without the right papers to show for it. Too often we're treated as abstractions, faceless and nameless, subjects of debate rather than individuals with families, hopes, fears, and dreams. We dream of a path to citizenship so we can actively participate in our American democracy. We dream of contributing to the country we call our home. As this Congress decides on fair, humane reform, and before we take your questions here, I have a few of my own. What do you want to do with me? For all the undocumented immigrants who are actually sitting here at this hearing, for the people watching online, and for the 11 million of us, what do you want to do with us? And to me, the most important question as a student of American history is this: how do you define American? How do you define it? Thank you so much for having me here today.
Thank you very much, Mr. Vargas.
How would you define really as defined not by vocabulary meaning, but what I mean is who is really the Americans? You know, I would say they're supposed to be the people that are willing, who came here and willing to contribute and do good for this country. Not because they were just born here in this place. That's how I define American. It's a country of freedom. It's democracy. After all, history-wise, everybody here is an immigrant, actually.
belongs in America?
People who love America belongs to America.
The people who see America as home. Like when I was raised in New York City, and when I see the skyline, New York City skyline, the only thing that I could think of is that's home.
It'd be selfish for me to say I belong in America, because everybody belongs. Doesn't matter where you're from.
We belong.
We belong.
We belong.
We belong.
We belong.